wasn't yours. I'm going back, I'm going back, I'm going back, I'm going back, I'm going back to who I was before. I like me better, I like me better.
Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. You can see today we are talking about the best and worst things that have ever launched from Too Faced. I don't know what it is, but like in the last week, social media has been having like this trip down memory lane on just things of the past. You know, I saw a post about past makeup products that used to be booming. Like now you look at it, who is still using that type of thing? You know, I saw people talking about ringtones, people just a trip down memory lane, especially if you're on Twitter. Then I feel like you know what I'm talking about with those. You weren't there if posts. If not, then just a trip down memory lane. It made me think, why not do that? I've done it before with some other brands, but it made me want to do it today. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to talk about some of the best and worst things that have launched from Too Faced, because even with where Too Faced is right now, you can't lie and say like 2015, 16 beauty community, especially here on YouTube, Too Faced was one of those girls. Okay, so they've launched some good things, some bad things. You guys want to know my thoughts on those? Then let's go. So let's start with some of the best things that they've launched, and I feel like I can kind of group these two together, because one thing Too Faced is going to do when they do it correctly are some complexion products. The first is their Born This Way Natural Finish Foundation, and the second is the Born This Way Super Coverage Concealer. Those two, now, while not the best things that I've ever tried in general, some of the best things I've tried from that brand. You guys know I have, it's like 2 seconds into the video, there's already hair in my mouth. You guys know I have a long history with the Born This Way foundation. I'm pretty sure I've done 4 or maybe 5 videos just on the original foundation because of shades. Y'all know the finish for me isn't like the best finish because it is a very natural finish for a foundation. I have oily skin, but I have said several times that it's a very nice foundation to mix that plays well with other foundations. So if you are someone who likes mixing your foundations to get the desired look and finish, then that's a nice one to look at for mixing with other products. But on its own, even on someone who has oily skin, you can, you know, with what you do with the rest of your face, primer, powder, stuff like that, you can get a very nice lasting finish with that foundation, even if you have oily skin. You guys know that foundation's been through the shade extensions, the collaboration with Jackie. They've now expanded to the matte version of Born This Way, which if you have oily skin is a very nice one to look at, but it is a very matte foundation. Just keep that in mind. And they also have the Super Coverage Concealer extension of the Born This Way collection, which for me, again, not like the best concealer I've ever tried, but again, very nice coming from Too Faced. It's more like thicker concealer for, you know, the ones like I want that full face type of look. That's probably more who would gravitate towards that one. But they're, like I said, their complexion products, when they try is the key word, are usually very nice. Now they do have stuff like blushes that I know people have raved about in the past. I've never actually, now I think about it, no, I haven't tried like those little compact blushes. I think I might have tried like a blush in a face palette or something like that, but I haven't tried the little compact blushes. People rave about those. They have bronzers. You see what I'm saying here when I say like when they actually care to do things correctly, because I have yet to see a bronzer from them that I could actually use on my skin tone. But the Born This Way foundation and concealer, I'm gonna give it to them. It's one of the best things that they've put out. Okay, another best for them is still in the face category. I'm telling y'all, they gonna do complexion correctly. It is their Too Faced Born This Way Ethereal Setting Powder. That is a nice powder. Okay, I'm pretty sure like before they did the collaboration with Jackie, this powder had come out. So at the time I was like, yeah, this is probably the best thing that has come from the Born This Way collection. That powder is that nice everyday natural finish. It's just gonna give you a nice, it just melts everything together on your face. Not the setting powder that you go for if you're looking for the type of powder that's going to mattify your face and make sure your face, but it's, you got, I don't know if you guys have heard what they say about the Morphe setting spray, how it's a spray that just melts your whole face together. But if you're looking for a setting spray that's actually going to, you know, keep your face in lock and stuff like that all day, don't go to that setting spray for that. That's kind of how I feel about this setting spray. Beautiful finish on the face. Again, just melts everything together. But like, if we're talking about setting powder that, again, that's gonna mattify, that's gonna like do all this for like 24 hours, stuff like that, I don't know if that's the one that you should be running for. But out of the setting powders from them that I've tried, I do think they have a more mattifying. It's crazy because they come out with products that are more natural finish, and I'm like, oh, I kind of wish they had like a matte version of this because I have oily skin. Then they come out with the matte versions. I'm like, you know what? I'm kind of okay with the natural finish. I can make it work with the natural finish because I feel like sometimes with their mattifying products, they just do a little too much with the mattifying to the point where like now I feel like you're kind of drying me out a little bit. So I do believe I've tried like a more mattifying powder from Too Faced, but I would still recommend the Ethereal one over all of the other setting powders that Too Faced has come out with. And I think it's a universal shade, like a universal translucent shade. I think they might have skin tone shades, and that it's been a minute since I've used that powder, so I'm gonna put that powder in the best products category. Okay, another best product are their melted liquid lipsticks. Especially during that phase of liquid lipstick. Now I feel like you don't really see people pushing liquid lipsticks that much. You know, they're too drying, they're too this, they're too... But y'all know that time where liquid lipstick was the thing. Bullet lipsticks, no. Gloss, no. Although some people never left gloss. But there was just a time, especially like the Kylie lip kit thing, and especially I'm gonna put this product in the best category because this was probably like one of the best dupes for those Kylie lip kits. They have the chocolate version, which I don't remember if they even sell anymore. I think they have like a whole chocolate melted liquid lipstick collection aside from the rest of the melted liquid lipsticks. Say melted liquid lipsticks 10 times. But those were probably some of the best dupes for what was probably one of the most like coveted products during that time. Granted, they're pretty much around the same price range, and there were like drugstore dupes as well. But when I tell you this one, if you are looking for liquid lipsticks with different shades, they do have a little bit more bolder colors. Of course, they've got the more natural colors. So if you're looking for shades, if you're looking for liquid lipstick that's not going to be that drying on the lips, it's there. But liquid lipstick, like once you put that bad boy on, you're good to go. Okay. For that type of finish, I'm trying to think anything else you're looking for liquid lipsticks, because right now, again, like I said, I feel like people aren't checking for those. Also, I think it might be one of those, a lot of people already have like all the colors you could ask for, even the bolder colors. I feel like a lot of people kind of already have those. So if anything, it might be people who are newer with makeup, who are, you know, like dipping their toes in, who might want to visit some of these things that other people look at and they're like, you know, kind of like with eyeshadow palettes, people are like, okay, another neutral eyeshadow palette, what am I supposed to do with this? Like, those are usually the people who have, you know, the makeup collection the size of a Sephora. They're kind of just like, well, what am I supposed to do? But you gotta remember, every year there's like a new age of people whose parents are now allowing them to start wearing makeup. You know, and it's not just younger people as well. Every day there's a new person who's like, well, maybe I do want to start playing in makeup, even if they're in their 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s. However, so you got to keep that in mind when you're thinking like, who is going to want this? There's a new makeup consumer born every day, right? So if you are checking for liquid lipsticks at this time, that is a nice collection to check out. So I'm gonna put that in their best category. Now I do have a little honorable mention. I don't know if I'm ready to put in like their best categories. Right now it's kind of just like floating in the middle. Like, it's not the best, but it's not the worst either. But I want to mention it. It is their lip injection plumping lip gloss. Now I feel like some people might fight me on this in the comments because it is kind of one of those products like you either love it or you hate it. I like it. I always get that tingling feeling in my lips. Does it actually plump up my lips? I feel like it kind of depends on the day, but especially just thinking about this as a gloss, like it's a nice gloss, and you put it on top of other glosses, it's gonna look nice on the lips. And like I said, does it actually plump? Kind of depends on the day for me. So that's why I'm like, I'm not sure if I want to put you in like the best category, but it's a nice little product. Check out. Okay, now let's talk about some of the worst things that they have ever launched. Again, some of y'all might feel a type of way about some of these things, but I'm just talking from my experience. Okay, the first is the Peach Mist Setting Spray. It's their mattifying setting spray. Now, again, For someone who has oily skin, did it do what it has to do as far as mattifying my face? Yes, it did. But again, like I said, sometimes it got to the point where feeling like it might have dried me out a little bit with how matte it is. So if you are looking for a mattifying, it's going your whole face together, then maybe it's something you want to check out. The main reason I'm putting it in this category of like one of the worst things, because if you guys remember, it has this weird annoying thing of when you spray it on your face, it leaves little white dots all over your entire face. You guys remember there was a video I was doing? It was the there's a challenge. Oh, it was you guys remember that challenge of using every shade in the eyeshadow palette? I was doing that challenge and I did that. I went to go set my face and it left white dots on my entire face. Imagine like you're doing your face, you got somewhere important to go. You do your entire face and you spray that setting spray on your face and it leaves just little white dots everywhere. Now, for the most part, you could usually just like push the product into your face and the dots would kind of disappear, but sometimes they disappear in a weird way, like it leaves a little weird cast on your face and it's like no one wants to deal with that. Now luckily I never had that experience using it where I actually had to go out somewhere, but I feel like if I did that and that happened to me, I wouldn't even want to go out anymore. I'd be like, you know what, it is what it is. I'm not going out anymore. So that was really annoying about the spray. And like I said, sometimes she borderlined a little too mattifying for me. So yeah, you know, like I'm gonna have to put you in that category. Sorry, Peach Miss. Okay, now this one, I don't know if Too Faced got any shooters. I guess I'm gonna find out after this video. But I would put this in the worst category because this really is one of the most overhyped products to ever exist in the beauty community, and that is the Better Than Sex mascara. Listen, I tried that mascara, the waterproof version, every version of this mascara they've released, I'm pretty sure I've tried, and it's a very overhyped mascara. It's not better, well, it's not, let's just say that. But I feel like this is pretty, yeah, there. You know, it's a mascara, you pick it up because it's like the first one you see when you get to the part of your makeup routine of applying mascara. But like, does it do anything groundbreaking? You know, I feel like I've got falsies on. No. I feel like that, no, it doesn't do any of that. I am sorry. Mind you, it says like on this here, #1 mascara. Like, no, I've tried drugstore mascaras that have done a lot more, so I said what I said. I might also get some heat for this, but you know, someone's gotta say it. One of the worst things Too Faced ever put out were those chocolate palettes. Yeah, I said it, and I'm saying it with my chest, okay? One of the worst things that they ever put out were those chocolate palettes. I don't care what anybody says, okay? I know back in the day, like, you couldn't not know what those chocolate palettes were, okay? They were everywhere in yearly favorites, monthly favorites, eyeshadow collections, the best eyeshadow palettes out there. I feel like it's one of those, if I knew then what I knew now type of things, like, would y'all really have hyped it up like that? When it was like the main topic of eyeshadow palettes, right? I saw it and, you know, I feel like something in my head was just like, I don't know about that one. You know, like I'm looking at it because I never tried it when it was, you know, still one of the most hyped up products. I tried it after the hype kind of started dying down on them. And again, I was just sitting there like, this is really what y'all were hyping up. And, you know, nowadays you watch a declutter video and those are like the first things to go in those videos. And people are like admitting like, you know, it wasn't really that great. It really wasn't, especially for my skin tone. It's like, how do you have a chocolate eyeshadow palette collection that they dragged out? They probably still drag out to this day. I don't remember the last chocolate palette that they launched, but like to this day they probably still hold on very tight to the whole chocolate collection. How do you have a chocolate eyeshadow palette collection and like I can't use a majority of the shades in it? It's supposed to be like chocolate themed. Do we see how chocolate looks? How does that make sense? And you made multiple of them and a lot of them had browns that looked gray on my skin tone. I did a video. I don't remember. I don't remember what it was on. I want to say I was reviewing like eyeshadow brushes or something like that. And people were like, I love that gray look that's on your eyes. And I'm like, I used a whole like chocolate brown themed eyeshadow palette to do this. And yeah, it was one of the chocolate palettes from Too Faced. I used a whole chocolate palette to do this eyeshadow look and people are complimenting me on the gray that is on my eyes. Make it make sense. Okay, so yeah, going in as one of like the worst things that they have launched, because they've launched other eyeshadow palettes that were a lot better, a lot more pigmented, a lot more deeper complexion friendly, that don't get nearly as much hype as the chocolate palettes do. Like the chocolate palettes are probably gonna go down as like the best eyeshadow palettes to ever come from this brand, and that's sad because they weren't that great of palettes, if great at all. So yeah. I also have an honorable mention for like one of the worst things that they've put out. Again, someone's got to say it. Those eyeshadow palettes that they be putting out during their holiday collections, baby, when I tell you they are not good, okay? They get you because, listen, one thing Too Faced is going to do is give you a cute holiday collection. And mind you, even in like the last few years, even that they're kind of slacking on. But they're going to give you like the cute little packaging, gingerbread, little house-shaped eyeshadow palettes, all that stuff. And it's like, it's so cute that you almost don't realize, but I did realize it, that the actual product itself is giving very half-assed. I bought the holiday collections twice. The first year, I wasn't that impressed. And then the second year, I was like, okay, like maybe it was just, you know, last year, so let me give it a second shot. But I bought it the second year, like after that, and I was like, okay, oh no, I just, something about your holiday collections aren't giving what the rest of your launches be given. So I'm good on those. And I noticed other people were saying the same thing. So I was like, okay, it's not just me. But yeah, I don't remember what it's called. I think it was like around the same time that, no, maybe it was like a year after that Nikki Tutorials collaboration. Maybe it was before. If I can find, because they definitely don't sell it anymore, but if I can find it, I'll post it up here. But like, what is that? Like, what was it giving? Nothing is what it was giving. It was giving nothing. So that is it for this video. Everything else I've ever tried from Too Faced just kind of falls in the middle for me. Like, you weren't the best, you weren't the worst, you're just kind of there, right? Like that, like the insurance shadow primer, shadow insurance, the eyeshadow primer that they have. It was, again, a very hyped up product. I wouldn't say it was terrible, but I wouldn't say, you know, like I needed to do eyeshadow. Now, would I pick that or the Urban Decay Potion? I'd probably pick the Too Faced over the Urban Decay Potion primer. I think I did a video on like the best and worst of Urban Decay, and I said like the Potion primer, eyeshadow primer, I'm not here for it like whatsoever. So yeah, I would pick the Shadow Insurance, I think is what it's called, over the Urban Decay one. But that like, if we're talking just things from Too Faced, I would still put that in like you were just okay type category. So that is it. Those are my thoughts on the things from Too Faced that I've tried. Where I feel like they stand. I have tried skincare from Too Faced, but I don't remember much about any of it, so I feel like that says a lot itself. Let me know what other brand you'd want to see a video on some of the best and some of the worst things I think they've launched, and I would recommend that you do or you don't pick up. Let me know all of that down below. Make sure to thumbs up, comment, subscribe, turn on notification bells, all of that down below. Thank you all for watching. I will see you in the next one. Bye.
Yeah.